Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining. Today I'm going to be shooting this indoors since it's raining outside and it's a lot easier to look at my running stats indoors. This week's goal was to do a lot more faster style workouts. I started off Monday with a pretty quick 5K, and then on Tuesday it was raining outdoors, so I had to run on a treadmill. I ended up doing a very quick 5K and finished that up with a cool down mile and a half. On Wednesday was probably my slowest run this week. I did a 4.1 mile at just under 7-minute pace. And then on Thursday, I started off with a 0.8 mile cool down, and then I ended up doing just over a mile with a 5:33 mile split. After that, I ended up setting a new segment on Strava, calling it fire hydrant to fire hydrant. It's 0.56 miles. It starts off primarily uphill, and then there's some downhill segments. Finished this with the time of 3:02, and then when I uploaded this ended up putting me in second place. The current record holder is Camden Gilmore with a 2:59. After that, later in the evening, I wanted to put on a couple more miles, so I ended up doing an additional 4 miles. Then on Friday, we had a pretty large-scale unit run on Fort Meade. The Maryland Governor Wes Moore showed up, along with the Garrison Commander Colonel Yolanda Gore. It was about 3 miles. It was a pretty slow pace, but it was still really fun. After that, I wanted to add on a couple more miles for the day, so I did a 2-mile loop around Lake Elkhorn. After that run was done, finally had a new package arrive. Prime Day sales once again got me. The camera that I've been wanting to get for a while was $100 off. I ended up getting the Insta360 Go Ultra. As you can see, the camera is pretty bulky like the current one I have. However, you can take the camera module outside of it and you can run with just this alone. This makes running a lot easier because it's a lot less bulky. With the new camera, I ended up going to Long Range High School to test it out. I did about 1.25 miles with a 5:41 mile split, and at that point I was feeling pretty speedy, so I went to Howard High School to do a mile and ended up finishing that mile in 5:31. On Saturday I did my 27th Parkrun. This was V&A Trail's 243rd event. I ended up finishing with the time of 19:31. The goal for this was to get first place, but I wanted to have fun with it. The first mile of it, I was running behind James Robinson. He ended up doing about a 6:20 split with the stroller, and then a bit over a mile, Luke Shopper ended up taking the lead, so I already started running behind him. Ran with him the whole way until about 400 meters to go, and then I finally passed him towards the end. He ended up finishing with a 19:50. James with the stroller ended up finishing in a 20:44. One new thing I'm starting to do with these park runs to keep it fun and lively. Whoever ends up getting first place or finishes right behind me, I give them a fun little trophy. Luke Shopper received the first trophy that I gave out. He seemed pretty happy about that. I look forward to handing more of those out in the future. After that was done, I was going to finish my running, but I decided to head to Fort Meade and try and get a couple more crowns. The first one I did was the Chamberlain to Roberts segment. It's about 0.85 miles. I ended up getting first place on this one, bringing the record from 5:03 down to 4:36. The next segment I went to was Chamberlain to 306 South. It's just under a quarter mile. I ended up bringing the record down from a 106 down to a 59 second. And then the final one, when I was absolutely tired, I still managed to get first place on Reese to Ernie, which is 0.64 miles. I brought the record down from a 3:53 to a 3:28. So there's still quite a few more segments on Fort Meade that I'm trying to get first place on. In a perfect world, I would have first place on all of them. I don't know how feasible or possible that is. One thing I've realized is that it's hard to gauge and assess how difficult some of these runs and records are. I wanted a way to compare and contrast the difficulty levels. Initially, I looked at trying to use the IAAF scoring rubrics that they use for track and field. It's a scoring system based on current records and what's theoretically possible, and it's scoring runs based on a 0 to 1400 score. The only problem with this is for specific runs like the 100 meters, 200 meters, mile, marathon, hurdles, basically events that actually happen in track and field. So if I'm doing a run that's like 0.27 miles or 1.05 miles, I won't be able to calculate the scores for that. Because of that, I decided to create my own scoring system. It'll be similar to the IAF scoring, but instead of 0 to 1400, I had my scoring going from 0 to 2000. I took the scores from all the segments and routes that either I had the record on or want to get in the future, and I put all the stats into ChatGPT. After it finished calculating, it gave me a pretty pretty decent score system. As you can see, it's not perfect, so it does consider the Rock Avenue climb being the most difficult. Even though it's 0.34 miles, it sees the 8.2% incline gain, and based on the speed, it evaluates that at 2000 difficulty. Also, I'm not surprised it considers the AT&T 1 miler to be the second hardest because it thinks that distance is 0.95 miles, even though I know that the run itself is about 0.75 miles. Lastly, for the easiest runs, it does think the stairway runs are significantly easier, probably because it sees the negative grades, also because the up and down segment is seen as a 1.1% grade, even though you're actually going up 23 degrees and then back down. It's not perfect, but it gives me a rough idea of difficulty levels. In my opinion, probably the run bike run segment set by Camden Gilmore is probably the hardest. It's a 2.07 mile segment ran at a 528 mile pace. The grade does say it's 0.0, but that's because it's a full loop. The actual course itself includes a lot of hills. In the future, maybe I'll find a better way to calculate a difficulty scoring system, but until then, this is probably what I'll go with. Without further ado, I'm going to include some segments from the park run that I did Saturday, along with some clips from the course records I ended up setting. you guys enjoyed this video. Next week I have a fun competition idea that I want to try out, and I hope it turns out well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.